you're just constantly like
It's so stressful.
like losing your phone or
I
like
don't lose my phone. Okay, it's stolen.
right.
I've had it stolen.
Okay, but that
before.
seems to happen quite a lot.
Right.
And
That's probably because I'm in nefarious. What's the word I'm looking for?
Nefarious.
Nefarious places.
Like what?
I don't know. Dark rooms,
Right.
etc.
Okay.
Look, I'm going mad. I'm trying to change my iCloud password, which I change every 3 months, by the way.
Welcome to the podcast.
Because I can never remember it.
Right.
And I had a security delay because I'm not somewhere I usually am, which is bullshit because I am. I'm sorry I'm swearing. I'm actually very triggered. And
you haven't been here for 3 months.
honestly, I could throw my phone across the studio. I'm so frustrated by it. It like really upsets me. So anyway, I did a security delay and it said security delay ended. So I was like, great, I can now change my password. So I've gone in to click on it, sign in and security, and it isn't letting me press it.
Right.
Why is it not letting me press it?
It looks like your phone's frozen, right?
It hasn't frozen. It's moving around.
Right.
But it won't let me press anything.
Just do it on a computer.
I can't. It's locked me out, Dan, because it does all this two-factor nonsense.
Right.
I sound like I'm so old, but I promise you I've always had these issues. I've had these issues since being a kid.
I don't know why. James...
Like every single password, like I'll put it in and then I get it wrong. I'm dyslexic, definitely. So I didn't know how dyslexic people... I'm not diagnosed, of course not, because... like at school though, they said I was number dyslexic, so I guess that does kind of track.
Right.
But I can't remember passwords, so I've had issues.
You need to write them down then.
I've had issues with this forever. This is why I'm so bad at banking as well, like or anything to do with money.
Right.
I log in and it all goes wrong, and I got locked out. And passwords are so hard because you have to have a number combination. You don't need me to explain that, but it's so difficult.
Write it down somewhere
I do
else.
write it down, but then I write it down somewhere and I need a password for that.
No, but write it down on a pen and paper in your house.
Right.
And then you just only do your stuff when you're in your house, when you sat down.
But that's not
because
how
part
the
of the
world
stress
works.
that you're causing is because you're doing it in here.
Yeah, that's a good idea, and you're right. But the problem is, I smashed my phone, so I needed to take it to the Apple store. So I went in to get it fixed.
Right.
And they said, "Oh, you need to put your password in so that we can turn off Find My. It's a security issue." But I couldn't remember my iCloud password, and so I ended up locking it out myself. And they were like, "Well, just come back when you're sorted, then." So that's why.
Right.
And I'd quite like to get it sorted.
Yeah.
But it is annoying.
Why are you always smashing your phone? I don't like.
Because I'm really clumsy. I don't know why. What do you mean? Why are you not always smashing your phone?
Well, I don't.
They're not made.
I actually don't know because I'm always in like mosh pits and stuff, and like I'm like, oh, it's never going to survive this, and it always seems to. Touch wood.
I don't know how because I honestly drop it all the time.
Right.
All the time.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm perfect because I lock myself out all the time. That's the thing that I do all the time.
Is this interesting? I feel like I just sound like a...
It's kind of funny. Like,
why is it funny? It's not funny at all.
It kind of is.
Why?
Because it's relatable because everyone's got a variation of this problem, haven't they?
Right. So it's not just
and
me.
now you can't do anything now without it being two-factor.
Yeah.
So you need two devices to do anything.
All the time.
Which is kind of crazy if you think about it. Doing it in here isn't going to help.
No, I know, but I wasn't trying to do it in here. I was just like, oh, I can change it now. And we were between a recording.
Yeah.
So I thought that would take a second.
Right.
Sadly, it hasn't.
But nothing takes a second anymore.
It's taken longer. Yes, but the thing is, it said, if you don't do it now, you'll have a new security delay. And I'll have to kick off another one, which is another hour.
Right, okay.
And I don't want to wait an hour.
I feel like this is going to be quite a silly episode.
Oh, really?
We're already in the land of the silly.
Well, I apologise for all of that trauma. I just find it really hard. Right, every week we kick off with a question from the straight people.
Yes.
Or actually just any people, but questions you're scared to ask.
Yes. This one comes from New York. This one was delivered in person to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This is from Olga. This is my friend in New York. She says, does James know what war pigs are?
What's a war pig? So no. Thanks for your question, Olga. What is a war pig?
What do you think it is? Well, so here's the thing. She's Russian, right? And she said, her husband is British. And she said, he was telling me about this thing called war pigs. And I was like, I've never heard that.
I know what a pig in gay culture is.
Okay, I feel like I don't want to know what that is.
Really?
It's going to be something rank or rough.
No, I think it's just like
someone getting fucked from every angle or something.
What?
Like a pig roast. Like a hog roast.
No. I mean maybe. It's just like you're just a pig for sex.
Right.
It just means you just love it. And you just want to be covered in cum or whatever.
Right.
It's not a specific... I don't think it's a specific thing. It's just like, oh, I'm going to be a little pig tonight. I'm being a piggy.
Okay.
So what's a war pig?
What do you think it is?
Someone that loves war?
No.
I don't know.
I'm not familiar with this term, but apparently my friend's husband, who's British.
Yes, you just said that.
Well, I'm just confirming that because it is a horrible concept.
Right.
So I don't want to get cancelled.
Why does Olga think I would know it?
Well, she just wants to know.
Right, just tell everyone what it is. We could have Googled it by now.
It's if you're like on the pool, or to use a straight phrase, it's taking your ugliest friends with you.
So that what?
So that you appear more attractive.
Right. That seems horrible. Also, everyone has different types, so
yeah,
no one's ugly. Like, someone's going to fancy you.
Are they?
Yeah. Like, I've had people I fancy turn me down because they fancy my friend who I didn't fancy. That's not saying anyone's ugly, but like, you know, we all fancy different things, don't we?
Yeah.
So that happens all the time. So I don't think there's such a thing as a war pig.
Okay, well, thanks for your question anyway.
I mean, there might be, but that does feel a bit straight to me.
No, it does, yeah. I mean, I have not done that, but I'm familiar with that as a concept.
Yes. Also, it's been so long since I went out on the pool.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, I mean, like, obviously, likewise.
Isn't every night out with a gay person going out on the pool?
I guess so, yeah.
Like when Dick O'Clock rolls round.
Yeah.
Everyone, like any night out, you're on the pool, no?
I guess so, yeah.
It would be more interesting if someone was like, "Oh, I'm definitely not pulling tonight. I'm just with my friends."
I'm off the pool.
Yeah, I'd just be like, "Oh, okay, that's so empowering."
Right.
Okay. Well, thanks, Olga.
Yes, you can get in touch if you see me in the street. You can deliver these personally, or James, or you can email us. We are at us@gayanongay.com.
It's easier if you just send us a DM, because actually Dan and I don't have access to that inbox. I just found out that it's Prelude and not Pre-lube. I've said Pre-lube in some very important meetings for years.
Right. Firstly, it's Prelude. Isn't it? Prelude. I think it's either.
What is it?
A prelude to...
Yeah.
It is prelude, isn't it?
Like, oh, we should do that as a prelude to...
Yeah, to this.
Yeah.
And I think it's prelude. Well, to be fair, that is thick. However, it's not as thick as it first seems. You could also say... Both work, to be fair, don't they?
Do they?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, the concept of like pre-lubing is the same as a prelude.
I don't know, is it?
Right? It sort of is.
Well, yes, but if you're in a high...
Yeah,
an important meeting,
yeah.
and you're talking about, I don't know, coming up with something that you need to do to prelude, there's definitely a difference between that and pre-lube.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
But I guess if you say it quick enough, people wouldn't notice.
Well, I think it sounds like he has got away with it, to be fair.
That's so funny, though.
Yeah, it's funny. That's the kind of thing that you would do.
Yeah.
And also, how has he just found this out?
That's a good question.
Has someone gone, actually, what is pre-lube?
I've just asked him, how did you realise your mistake? Let us know if you've been saying something wrong for years. It reminds me of my spag bowl debacle.
Oh, well, yeah, you've got a whole list of them.
Oh, God, so many.
James only recently found out that porridge and oats are the same thing.
What do you think of the new Lady Gaga album, Dan? Mayhem, out now.
Well, I've listened to it once.
Yeah.
I was excited to listen to it because it's very Nine Inch Nails, right? I know that's a reference that you won't get, but it is.
That's a rock band?
Yeah.
Is it?
Do you know who Trent Reznor is?
No.
That is wild to me.
And you're saying the new album is very Nine Inch...
That's what in my world, all the reviews are saying.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's very Nine Inch Nails-esque.
And what are the reviews saying in your world?
That it's...
Like, are they giving it a good rating, or?
Yeah, I guess so.
Because Attitude Magazine gave it 3 stars,
right,
which has caused uproar in the comments on Instagram and across the gay community.
Right, but 3 stars is good.
Is it?
Yeah, 3 is good, 4 is very good, 5 is exceptional.
Right, I don't think it works like that anymore. You're probably right.
Well, how does it work then?
Well, I think if you get 3 now, you feel like it's a failure.
Right.
I think it's got to be 4 or 5. And people do 4.5, don't they?
Nah.
Or 3.5. So
there's no halves.
There are halves though. People do that all the time.
Well, they need to get a grip.
But yeah, people were really upset in the comments saying that it was engagement baiting. And then a lot of people are saying that she's reheating her nachos.
What does that mean?
It means that she's reheating her nachos. So
As in she's just churning out the same old shit.
kind of.
But that clearly isn't true because this is the first time ever that it sounds like Nine Inch Nails.
I think it's amazing, by the way.
Right.
Like, I think it's such a good album. It's exactly what I needed from Gaga. I think it does have elements of her. Well, it's still Lady Gaga, so it's going to sound like her old material. That's what I want, though.
Yeah.
So I would have definitely. I think it's a great album. Perfect Celebrity, awesome. Vanish Into You, Love Drug, How Bad Do You Want Me? Sounds like Yazoo, I feel.
Right, yeah.
It's such a good album.
But people have got the hump because Attitude have given it.
Yeah, but I think you're right. The thing is, though, I have previous with Attitude on that, and I write for them.
Right.
Love Attitude magazine and the family there. But they came to review my show in 2022.
Yeah.
My stand-up show,
Yeah.
which is a special, by the way, on Out TV or Outflix, if you fancy watching it.
Yeah.
Straight jokes. And they gave it 3 stars.
Right.
And I was so upset. So I feel...
As I said, that's good.
Yes, but I feel relieved, actually.
Right.
That Gaga got the same review.
You were expecting like a free pass because it was
I guess I was. Yeah, I guess I thought, well, I'm in the community. I write for you. Maybe you're going to give me 5.
But then if that was true, then everything would just be accelerated.
Well, that's the question, isn't it? And I suppose I wanted to know like what you thought of that. Because actually, it's probably correct that we're still critical of each other, even if we're gay. But
well, yeah.
I wondered, like, shouldn't we be supportive of each other all the time?
Well, no, because then that's just nonsense. Because then anyone on that basis who's gay, who can release any old shit, would automatically get a great review in Attitude magazine.
Yeah, that would be great.
And that
wouldn't it?
undermines your show, our shit, like
Does
Lady
it?
Gaga.
I guess. So, yeah.
Because we have 5-star reviews, right, for our Edinburgh shows
Yeah,
from mainstream press, if you like.
that's true.
And they weren't just giving them to us.
It's interesting, though, isn't it? Because the whole system's a bit fucked, to be fair. Like, what's a 5-star review mean? Like,
Well, it's exceptional.
right. But if you compare it,
I don't know why you and all
but
the...
like
all
one
the-
publication reviewed that show and gave it 5 stars, and they
Yeah.
gave it 3. So like, where's the why?
Well, that's journalism, though, isn't it? That's,
Is it? That's confusing
music
to me.
journalism.
And then like our show, which is just thrown together.
Well,
I mean, with a bit of prep, but the ones that got a review in Edinburgh when we did it, you know, they're thrown together.
They're not
They've
really,
got guests. We're interviewing them. There's
I mean,
lots of different things going on.
getting
so-
the guest, by the way, getting the guest to the stage is not just throwing it
Okay,
together.
sure.
There's a lot
Look,
of work
I'm not
that goes
being
into that.
rude. I know I was there too. I do know how much work it was. But to get that review, like, whereas it's like live in the moment, it's improvised.
Yeah.
My show is written over the course of like a year.
Yeah.
And perfected
Yeah.
constantly. And then doesn't.
But I guess you're more open to scrutiny then, because for that
Right.
reason.
Oh, I see. Okay. That makes sense. But yeah, it's hard, isn't it? You look at that and you go, why is that getting this review when I'm getting that? So I'm going, well, Lady Gaga's so like, and actually my friend did comment, and I think this is true. As an artist, Lady Gaga is 5 stars, of course. But maybe it's okay every now and again to also review some of their work and give it a 2 or 3.
Well, yeah, if the reviewer is credible, I don't know who they are, but then if they've got a reputation to protect, then they have to review it as they see it or hear it.
Okay.
I don't know what the alternative is.
No, I think you're right.
I've got some great new jokes.
Have
Well,
you?
Yeah.
Okay, I can't wait. Do you want to do one now as we close?
Sure.
I mean, this is a very scatty episode. Oh, and now over to Dan for one of his latest jokes.
Lots of crazy things going on in the world. In South Korea, did you hear about this? The president was impeached. And I heard on the radio they said, let's hear from our sole journalist. Such an important story, and there's only one guy working on it. I can't believe it. Now, James is trying not to laugh.
I'm laughing because it's not... it's so bad.
James is trying not to laugh.
I'm laughing because
But actually, I've wrote, people love that joke.
Did they?
I've tested it a lot, yeah.
Also, is that what they mean, sole journalist? Would that mean only one? I guess so, yeah.
So James doesn't understand the joke. It's too advanced.
Sometimes I do feel like...
It's too advanced.
Sometimes I do feel like Alice on The Vicar of Dibley.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of each episode.
Yeah.
I do feel like I am her, but then I think that also makes me a good joke writer.
Right.
Because I look at every single part of a joke intrinsically to try and figure out
Right.
what it is about that joke that's working or not working to
Okay.
then find a better version.
All right. Do you want another one?
Yeah, I do. If you don't mind, more of a literal takedown.
I've got a new lawyer, but it turns out he's really bad at taking people to court. So it turns out he's not a human lawyer.
What? What? Sorry, what?
He's not a lawyer that's a human. He's a dog, right? He's a dog lawyer. And then it all made sense. He's a Shih Tzu.
What the fuck? There's so many layers there.
There's not that many layers.
The joke is so
There's
crap.
2 layers.
It takes you so long to get to it.
Yeah, but
Can't you just say, I've got a lawyer, he's not very good?
That is what I said. But the point is,
no, the joke is, that's not good.
It is good.
No, it's not.
It is good.
It takes too much maths.
It doesn't.
It's got way too much maths to figure out what you mean.
It has to have that because it's not just that he's a bad lawyer. He's a bad lawyer at suing people, but you can't say sue because that's then so obvious what the joke is. So that's why you have to say the lawyer's bad at taking people to court.
Okay, you could fix it or make it simpler by just saying, someone tried to take me to court. Luckily, they were a dog, a Shih Tzu.
It's not as good.
It also doesn't make sense because there's no way you would have a lawyer that was a dog. So
why?
Because that's just not possible. So the joke is just so stupid. It's not like grounded in any reality. And I think,
I'm not saying neither Soul journalist.
Well, no, it is because that is something that
right.
That is factually something that someone would say.
Yeah.
So there's I can connect with it. Whereas this one is like, well, you don't have a dog lawyer, do you?
No, but the fact that it's silly is inherently funny.
Well, yeah, but you can still do the joke without lying and saying that you have a dog lawyer. You just have to figure out. You just have to figure out how to make it better. And not be so lazy.
It's not being late. Literally lazy. I've done that joke 20 times.
Yeah, it's funny,
so
but you can make it funnier by it not being so absurd. I think. Well, but listen, maybe that's
the absurdity is
maybe that's your brand of comedy, and that's fine.
The absurdity is half of the joke. To be fair,
I think but I'm like, why have you got a dog that's a lawyer?
Exactly, but you laughed at that point, and people do laugh at that point.
Well, yeah, but I suppose if that's the laugh you want.
Well, any laughs that... What do you mean if that's the laugh I want? Yeah.
Well, I laugh because I'm like, what are you talking about?
Well, exactly.
But I'm not sure that's the laugh I would want.
Well, that's the laugh that I want. So there you go.
Right. Wait, so tell me the joke again.
I've got a new lawyer, but it turns out he's really bad. Actually, what I've written down is at winning court cases.
Right.
Turns out he's not a human lawyer. He's a dog. Okay. Then it all made sense. He's a Shih Tzu.
Yeah, there's too many.
No, there's not. Anyway,
there's too much maths. Like I'm like, what? Oh, okay. It's like a roller coaster, and then bang.
Yeah, but it does need all those contingent parts.
It doesn't. You can definitely slim that down to one line.
Well,
in fact, if you ran it into an AI and said, "Could you make this a one-line joke?" it would fix it for you.
Okay. Well,
but I'm going to try and do it for you.
Okay.
I hate dogs. You hate dogs, actually.
Yeah, but
you're scared of them.
Well, yeah, but I'm not going to get into that in the joke.
Yeah. What if you just said, "I'm really scared of dogs,"
right.
Which is silly because it's not like they can take me to court, especially. Well, not that Shih Tzu. Anyway, I don't know. Forget it.
Right.
Never mind.
Okay. Right. Last one.
Oh God, not another one.
Do you want one that is objectively bad or one that is?
I don't know which ones we've had so far. So whatever you want to tell me.
I was just on the subway, and there was a guy that just started masturbating.
Hold on. Do you not want to localize this to London?
No.
Now that you're here.
I think.
Because I'm not from New York, so you've alienated me. Sorry to interrupt.
I haven't because.
Sorry to interrupt. Carry on.
I haven't done this joke in the UK. I was on the tube here, and a guy just started masturbating. Also, that's much less believable in London than it is in...
People have definitely... I know women who've had that happen.
Right, true.
Not to make this real and harrowing, but that does happen.
Right, I was on the tube, and a guy started masturbating. It was awful. He's headed to Finsbury Park, but I don't know where he got off.
Right. I'll be honest, I ruined that joke by bringing in the fact that I know people who've had that happen.
Yeah, but I took...
Yeah. Oh, sorry, are we taking it out?
I think
you can't now because I've.
Well, I'm not the editor,
like
but
I've pooched your joke because I took it too real. So that's a good lesson in comedy.
Yeah.
Like that wouldn't, if someone in a comedy club went, "That's happened to me," like that would completely ruin your joke. So, which is effectively what I just did. I think that is a good joke.
Right.
I'm just explaining why I didn't laugh.
It is a good joke.
Yeah, I think it's good.
I know all these are good.
Oh right, sure.
No, I do.
Sure.
Because as I said, I can give you one that I haven't road tested.
Okay.
You know, life was much easier when before I had a real job. I used to give out condoms in nightclubs. This is true. And each time I'd take a couple for myself. They lasted me for ages.
Where's the punchline?
The punchline is they lasted me for ages.
What? The condoms?
Yeah.
I just think that's true though, isn't it?
Why?
That's not in any way the same as your other jokes that were really like, God, am I saying this clever? This one is just, I think it's a story that doesn't have a punchline yet. Okay,
so again, James doesn't get the joke, but I realise that this one is a bit less obvious.
What's the joke?
The joke is they lasted me for ages. That's the joke.
The condoms lasted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The insinuation is that I'm not having any sex.
Yes, I know that.
Well, that's the joke.
But there was nothing surprising about that. So it didn't make me laugh because I thought, well yeah, that tracks. I was like, that makes sense.
Right.
But that's not the same as your other jokes. Your other jokes are based on like language.
Yeah.
Like isms.
I'm struggling with that joke a little bit.
Right.
Evidently. That's why.
Good to road test it.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
To a podcast with thousands of listeners.
I've road tested it, I think, once. It didn't quite work, so I'm a bit worried about it.
Do it again?
I used to give out condoms in nightclubs, and each time I take a couple for myself.
Yeah.
They lasted me for ages.
Yeah, it's not a joke. That's why.
Right.
It's just not.
Oh, I mean, it is a joke.
No, it's not. But that's not. Don't be annoyed about that. It's just not. You haven't finished it.
Okay. Well,
it's not the same as your other jokes.
Okay.
It's not the same.
Well, we can't end on that. So we're gonna have
we can. It's fine.
No, we need to.
We'll do this again. It's fine.
No, we need to end.
God, not another one. But it's just not the same format. Does that make you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why it's not working.
All right. This is a banger.
Right. I hope so. Otherwise we're all going to be stuck here forever.
Since Trump got elected, there's been a ton of misinformation, which is pretty sexist when you think about it. Because what about Mr. Information?
Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.